So in the last two sessions, or if you are watching it later on, in the last two videos, we talked about, what exactly the strategy should be for the next, you know 13 days, 12, 13 days from now. And that strategy is to take the mock spree, okay, to go on to take the maximum amount of mock test paper. And the mock test has to be taken along with the timer, okay. The mock test has to be taken along with the timer, right? And then next we talked about the ABC strategy, about how exactly the mock test and the PYQ test has to be taken, okay. Mock and PYQ test has to be taken by leveraging this particular strategy called ABC strategy, wherein A stands for abhi karo, that means do it now. B stands for baad mein karo, that means do it later. Okay. C stands for chhod do, that means leave it. Okay. My one cent advice over here is to practice this right now from your mocks itself, from your mocks and PYQ test itself. If you by any chance, if you wait for this strategy to apply on the D-day, you might find it difficulty to do that, okay. So this is the main stuff we talked about the other day, the other couple of days, right? So now jumping on to the today's agenda, what is, how exactly we should analyze the mocks to maximize the score, okay. So, let's say, for example, in an AFCAT examination, there is only 10 questions, okay. There will be 100 questions, but let's just suppose there are only 10 questions, okay. Question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, okay, right? So every time when you are done with this, with the mock test or the PYQ test, after 2 hours, you will only be having three types of questions left with you. Okay. The first one is the unattempted questions. Okay. For example, let us say question number 2, 5, and 7, you did not attempt it. Okay. Question number 2, 5, and 7 were the questions that you did not attempt. Okay. So you have to go back to your drawing room, 2 hours of paper, but the preparation is not complete when you do 5 hours of analysis. Okay, 5 hours of analysis is required. Every single question, even though you have got the answer, okay, the end goal is not to get the answer alone, but to get the answer in the shortest possible time, in the best possible ways. Okay, so let's say 257 you did not attempt. So in that particular scenario, you have to ask from yourself, why were you not able to attempt this particular question paper, right? Particular question, right? Was there any conceptual gap? Was there any conceptual gap? Okay. If you are following me, if you are following me since the last couple of videos or the live stream, you what did I mention to you? Now there is no more time for you to go concept wise, but it does not mean that we are not going to study the concept. The only thing is that now you will go question wise, or more specifically question paper wise, and from there you will choose, you will find out what is that particular question which has gone unattempted. Okay, if there was a conceptual gap, you will go back and now learn that particular concept. Okay, for example, there is a question from time and distance which you were not able to do, right? So that is an unattempted questions, and you have to go back to plug that particular gap. Okay, the other reason could be why exactly you could not attempt was that were you frightened? Were you frightened with that particular stuff, right? Why were you frightened? Because it looked scary to you. Okay, that is why. So in the after the exam scenario, you will be having ample amount of time. Okay, take 5 hours of your time to analyze the mocks. Okay, take 2 hours, 3 hours at least to give to your mathematics questions. For each of the questions you can wrestle with the questions. Okay, why were you frightened? You were just frightened with just looking at the variables x raised to the power 4, raised to the power 56, raised to the power 26 or something like that divided by y raised to the power 76. But then when you actually solve this question paper, you realize that it was an easy question paper, right? Easy question, to be more precise. So these questions have to be attempted after your examination scenario, after the 2 hours of mock that you have taken, right? So that's about the unattempted question. Now 257 has already been done. Okay, there will be a few of the questions which you might have done wrong. Okay, let us say question number 1, question number 3, and question number 4. These are the questions you have done wrong. Okay, these are the three particular questions that you have done wrong, right? So over here you have to analyze it in a much deeper fashion. How exactly to analyze that in deeper fashion is that, right? See, in the AFCAT examination, as far as mathematics, reasoning, and English is concerned, if you know the answer, yes, then only you tick it. If you don't know the answer, you will not tick it. It's as simple as that. There is no inky pinky ponky in the AFCAT examination. Okay, so you will have to delve deeper and try to understand why exactly you have made it wrong, right? Why exactly you have made it wrong? There are two lines of reasoning. One is your own line of reasoning, okay, your own thought. With your own thought, you thought that that question is correct. Okay, the question is correct, but then there is an actual line of reasoning, right? Actual line of reasoning, right? There is an actual line of reasoning wherein the question, the explanation led you to the right answer. Okay, so there has been a clear gap between the your line of reasoning and the actual line of reasoning, and you have to think about it. Okay, and what are the other mistakes that you can do? What are the other mistakes you can do? Another mistake that you aspirants do is that they do inky pinky ponky. Okay, right? That means they don't know the answer to the question, but then they do the guesswork. Guys, please, at the +3 and -1 level, please do not do guesswork. Okay, please do not do the guesswork. And lastly, how exactly the questions go incorrect is that you guys do the silly mistake. Okay, silly mistake. If you are following me so far, what I have mentioned so far is that last 10 minutes after applying the ABC strategy, you will be left with 10 minutes, and in that 10 minutes, you are going to revisit the entire 100 questions, right? You are supposed to revisit the entire 100 questions and find out if there is any silly mistake. You have to correct it. Okay, so this is how you are going to analyze the incorrect questions. Lastly, even though you have got a few of the questions correct over here, question number 257, right? And over here 257, and a few questions you got it right. Okay, 257, you got it. You did not attempt it. Okay, and question number 1, 3, and 4, you attempted it wrongly. So what are the questions left over here? Question number 6, question number 8, question number 9, and question number 10. Please write down in your sheet of paper like this. Okay, correct, these are the numbers. Wrong, these are the numbers. 1, 3, and 4. And unattempted, these are the numbers. 2, 5, and 7. Okay, even though you have got the question right, your preparation doesn't end over there with getting the question right. Okay, what exactly you are supposed to do is to find out a way to do it better. Okay, find out a way to do it in a better manner. Okay, right. Right. What exactly I mean by that is that, let us say, I've already been doling out this particular concept to all of you, to all those of you who have been coming to meet me for one-on-one mentorship. I have been iterating that. Okay. So all those of you who have joined or listening to me or maybe watching the videos later on, it's just an iteration of what I've already talked. Okay. So if you are taking 2 minutes for a particular question, you have to think, you have to ask yourself, can I do it? Can I do this question in 1 minute? Can I do this question in 1 minute and 30 seconds? Is there a way? Is there a way I can do that? Okay, you have to find that way even for the correct questions. Okay, if you have got the questions right, that doesn't mean that you are not going to revisit the question. There is two aspect to it. You will not only find out a better way to do it, but it will also be a kind of revision to you. So just in case if you got this question in your examination hall, you will ensure that you have got it question right for sure. Okay, that's one. And then another reason for getting the question right is that many a times aspirants do the guesswork. Okay, guesswork. If you have got the question correct because of the guesswork, guys, please move it to the unattempted questions. Okay, move it to the unattempted questions whenever you are writing mocks and pyq questions. Please do not give marks to yourself in a liberal fashion. Okay, please be as strict as you can. Okay, as strict as you can. Okay, and from the 12 13 days from now on, right, let us say in one of the mocks you have scored only 100 marks, right? In the next mock, give yourself a target 120. This is what I would like to take down. And then next again give yourself another target 140, take that down, and then again increase the target, take that down. Okay, by this time, when you achieve 100 marks, you will be done, you will be knowing, right, that how much, what is your accuracy, how much can you attempt, and how much is the correct, how much is your wrong, and how much is your unattempted, right? Okay, and how much of attempt has to be increased proportionally so as to reach 120 marks. When you take that down, again you consequently increase, again you consequently increase, right? As a thumb rule, in order to pass the examination, you are supposed to attempt bare minimum of 70 questions. I am iterating it all over again. Okay? Anything less than 70, your candidature will start getting dicey, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And if you want to get 200 plus marks, right, you have to keep your attempt 85 or more than that. Okay? So these are the couple of thumb rules, and these are the stuffs I really wanted to talk, that you have to list down. You have to list down all the unattempted questions, all the incorrect questions, and all the correct questions. All the unattempted questions you have to ask yourself, ask your mind, why did you not attempt it? Is there a conceptual gap? If there is one, go there and plug it. Okay, if you did it wrong, why did you do it wrong? Okay, you did it wrong. Why? Because while doing it in the examination hall, you thought that you are doing it rightly, but then it has turned out to be a wrong one. Why it has turned out to be a wrong? You have to plug the gap between your line of reasoning and the actual line of reasoning which leads to the correct answer. Okay, and for the correct questions, even if you have done it in 2 minutes or 3 minutes, that's not the best way. Okay, you have to find out the best way, the shortest possible way, the smartest possible way to do it in the less and less amount of time, guys. Okay, you are supposed to have a very good reading speed. Many of you get stuck with xyz questions in mathematics. For that, I've already told you to apply ABC rule, right? And if you have not gone through those particular stuff, please go through that. And yeah, thank you so much. This is all I wanted to talk, and all the best, and keep grinding for the next 12 13 days, and I'll keep coming to you with the PYQs live practicing. Today also we are going to practice from 10 p.m. onwards. All of you are invited. Bye bye. Thank you so much for joining.